On this, the 29th of the series of Spiritual Aloneness, it's Easter Sunday, and I figured I should do one for today. And I have something chosen from Thomas Merton that's very beautiful. So let's take a moment before we enter into that passage just to sit quietly in the presence of God. And Thomas Merton writes in his poem Song Contemplation, Christ and his angels walk among us everywhere. These are their ways, their fiery footsteps that flash and vanish, smile and pass. By these bright passengers our groves are all inspired. Lo, we have seen you, we have seized you, wonder, caught you, have held you in the larch and lighted birch, but in that capture you have sailed us half-mile high into the air. And as with so many poems, this can be read in very different ways. But what I find beautiful in so many of the ways that I read it is the idea that Christ and his angels are among us. Their footsteps are fiery, and yet we don't always we aren't always aware that they're so close to us, that they walk among us. That vanishes, and yet even in vanishing, it smiles and it passes the presence of Christ. The fiery footsteps leave perhaps something burning in our hearts, as we soon will read about the disciples on the way to Emmaus. But there's also that wonderful way in which we try to seize Christ and the angels. And I'm not sure that it's referring to Christ that we seize, but I'll choose to read it that way, that we try to seize, but that Christ is only half caught, half held, and then just in that moment of being aware of Christ, this risen Christ with us, we're raised half-mile high into the air. We can intuit that even if in our lives we feel the distance of God, to read something like this for a moment perhaps is to forget that distance from God and to be drawn so beautifully into this glorious resurrection of Christ that raises us a half-mile high into the air. This Christ that we can never fully capture or catch, and yet is there around us everywhere. The angels, too, so close to us at all times. What a lovely poem for Easter. May you find it so helpful for you in your prayer.